You are paced with a conversation here, as I mentioned earlier on the teaser. I'm holding court with the Wiper Patriotic Front leader. This is Senior Counsel Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, aka Karaoke. You know, yeah, that has been trending the whole day. Well, we all Kikuyus.
I'm told it's now at 900,000 hits.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
But karaoke, I'm interested to know why karaoke?
You know,
why not Jogona?
People have just given me the name, and I love them. I really like it because I talked about the fact that we shouldn't profile any community. We are all Kenyans, and the one nation, one people. So I'm very proudly karaoke. Stephen Kalonzo Karaoke Musyoka. Maybe SKKM. SWKM or something like that. Maybe I'll do a deed poll and change my name. Depends on what Kenyans recommend.
So it becomes legal.
Well, it can become legal. Yeah, it's normal. You know, but for now, I think the message is clear.
Okay.
Please do not profile any community. And that is a message Kenyans are sending.
Indeed, indeed.
So hashtag, we are all Kikuyu.
We all Kikuyus.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
we are all Kikuyus, we are all Kambas, we are all Luyas, we are all Luos, we are all Kalenjins, we are all Somalis.
Right.
Kenyan Somalis. So.
So for the interest of this conversation, maybe you can call me Dibal Mutongoria Aina.
Oh, Dibal Mutongoria. But you have a complicated name, Debal. Yeah, so it is good. It's very proudly Kenyan.
Fantastic.
Really, that's what we are.
You know, just finally on it, you know, when you're talking about karaoke, it reminds me also in the Bible we have Judas, if you may remember Judas.
Yes.
So there's a
Iscariot.
Yeah, Judas Iscariot. You know what the contraption of Iscariot is? They say Judas is karaoke.
No. I'll run as far as I can from that. No.
Anyway, Senior Counsel Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, thank you so much for graciously consenting to be part of this conversation this evening on the Insight here on the Daily Report. And we look forward to getting a rich stream of information from you regarding the current state of play in the country. And just talking about the current state of the country right now, we're looking at the economic hardship. We're looking at the political unrest, youth disillusionment.
Unemployment.
We are talking about abductions and torture, institutional strain. Question is Kenya in a polycrisis?
Kenya is at a crossroads. I think I'll put it that way. But the good thing about Kenya is when a lot of other people are just about to write it off, like the proverbial phoenix rise out of the ashes. And I'm sure that we will rise up above the current difficulties. The situation may seemingly be insurmountable, but we will, as a country, rise above it. And thanks to a very large part, the current situation, the major contributors are young Kenyans, the Gen Zs, who have loudly and clearly said, we will not allow you, older generation, to mess up our future, mess up with our future. We want accountability. We know there may not be available jobs for all of us, but whatever jobs are available, we want to see transparency when you are hiring us, when you want us to join your defense forces, when you want us to join the police force, the prisons and all, we want transparency, not people. We want even to become teachers. We don't want to be given letters at funeral ceremonies. And at the same time, there are others who have been waiting to become employed under TSC for 10 years. 10 years. But just because you have a member of parliament who is Kenya Kwanza, they are given letters of appointment as Teacher Service Commission at State House, right? State House has become anything to anybody. So these are, young Kenyans are saying, we want our country back. So, because of that, 2023, we demonstrated as Azimio, if you remember.
Yes.
And before that, of course, some of us have been always on the streets in order to fight against injustice, as we saw it, stolen elections in 2013, in 2017. Yeah, that time we were talking about Hassan Commission, IEBC. I remember I was tear gassed along University Way, and I lost my kofia written wiper there. So it was, the media focused on it. And later on, William Ruto, when he was deputy president, went to some place in Ukambani and said, a whole vice president was sitting on the tarmac, on the tarmac, okay? And so we have seen it, but the new push by the agencies is amazing. It has even captured international attention. In fact, our youth movement here inspired the changes now in Bangladesh. Sri Lanka happened a little earlier, but Bangladesh university students came out, and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had to flee by helicopter to India because the young people of Bangladesh were inspired by what the youth in Kenya had tried to do.
But at a cost, because we're looking here at a cost. We're talking about 33 lives that were just lost on Monday. And that number, as I mentioned earlier, has ticked up to 140 since 2023, just as you mentioned. Today, we had the wrecking mass of Boniface Karaoke, who was actually shot at a close range. And barely, days after Albert Ojwang's fresh cloud of soil has settled on his grave, we have Bridget Njoki, who was shot on Monday in the safety of the house, while she was watching TV here in Kiambu and Dumberi village. We had also Dennis Mutuma Mwangi shot dead outside his home in Kiambu County again. Laban Kamau shot dead in Dumberi as well. Clearly, we are not safe. And our days are stitched with concerns of survival. How did we find ourselves here?
The cost is high. Tremendously high, unacceptably high. In 2013, we lost 70 plus. In 2024, as protests against the infamous Finance Act, another 70 or so. In fact, the numbers are in excess of 140, if you ask me.
Yes.
And then, this last Sabasaba event, quite apart from the lives lost, the amount of property destroyed, vandalized by goons, and goonism has become a new norm, funded completely by the state, so that you make the young people look they're the ones responsible for the destruction. It's actually been a very shameful thing. And we keep on telling this William Ruto administration that this is how Haiti began. And we wonder why. We wonder whether when we send our policemen to Haiti, it was to allow them to learn some of these very dirty tricks about organized militias. So we become a country, a constitutional democracy, and yet a country that is under the rule of the militia, leave alone the police. And